I'm going to thoroughly enjoy this video. I might enjoy this video a little bit too much than I'm going to do here in a minute because I'm going to be revealing. Actually, I'm not going to be revealing it. I'm just going to talk about some things. And what I want to do in this particular video is I want to talk about what ifs. You know what I mean? For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is G-Man. And I used to be friends with the Minnesota Barracuda, Shanny, formerly known as Shanny for Christ, and the Pennsylvania Bum, known as, formerly known as Revelation News, actually called Jason, well, we just call him Jason. He calls himself JWE, so, and I stopped being friends with him because pretty much they used me. They tried to destroy my finances. They tried to destroy me as a person. You know what I mean? And that was their big plan. And they felt just kicked them out of my house. You know what I mean? And they still haven't done nothing with themselves since then. I'm going to park the bike over there in a minute. We're going to get into this what if scenario that I think would be hilarious. For those of you who don't know, there's something else about me you guys need to know if you haven't known this yet. For the better part of 4 to 5 years, Dragnet, the better part of 3 years, 3 or 4 years, Dragnet, I would say from 2017 to just recently, 2023, 2022-ish, or whatever. Dragnet in the Geek Room was attacking my character, saying that I was a horrible person because I was friends with Shanny for Christ. And I was friends with JWE. We'll put it right there. They said I was friends with JWE. And they spent the better part of 3 to 4 years slandering my name on social media, calling me all kinds of horrible things, saying that I witnessed this and I did this and I did this and I did this and I did this. All because I was friends with Shanny and Rev. They wanted to cut off the finances to helping Shanny and Rev. And I didn't stop being their friends because of cyberbullying. I stopped being their friends because Shanny and Rev showed their true colors. I want that to be understood, ladies and gents. So the reason why I have to open up that way is because of this what if scenario. You see, a lot of them were calling me a horrible person. And mind you, this video, quick disclaimer here real quick before we get started. 2 disclaimers. Number 1, I am not talking to Carrie's audience. If you want to go see Carrie, Carrie is live right now. You can go to her YouTube channel. You can go take a look at that. I have to handle my business with this Dragoon audience. And that's who I'm going to deal with. Please go support Carrie if you are a Carrie audience member, and go support them, because the Dragoons are not going to like what I'm going to talk about on this channel here today. I promise you. So, yeah, Frank, you told me, Frank, that, oh, I'm sorry, the other disclaimer. What I'm going to say I'm going to do in this video, I'm not going to do. What I say in this what if scenario, I am not going to do. Let's do this one more time. The what if scenario that I'm going to do in this video, I am not going to do. So don't get all happy, Shanny, and all this other stuff and whatnot. I just want to prove a point to Dragnet and those guys that I told you lost since day one. Since day one. Because you're hypocrites and you guys are not consistent with your arguments concerning morality. So let's get into this here for a moment. Okay? G-Man is a horrible person because he's friends with Shanny and Rev. G-Man's a terrible person because he gives money to Shanny and Rev. G-Man's a terrible person because G-Man defends Shanny and Rev. Let's take the G-Man off of that and replace those words there for a moment. Frank supports Shanny and Rev. Jules tells all. Or Jules tells nothing, because when was the last time she actually said something on here? Jules supports Shanny and Rev both financially and mentally by giving them really horrible advice on how to deal with people on the internet, and by giving them the occasional money that they need to go buy their drugs and their alcohol and everything and whatnot. Normally, I wouldn't care about that kind of thing. It's your money. You can do whatever you want with it. The reason why it's a big deal to me is because I was told my audience and other audiences here on YouTube, and I believe that this is the beginning of my vindication on YouTube. The real vindication. I'm already vindicated to a certain degree, but I'm really going to get vindicated. And if I told you how happy I am right now. It's not even funny because I know what to do with said information. You guys just don't know me. I know what to do with said information. I'm nowhere near as dumb as the dork room and Jules like to have you guys think I am. But before I ended my friendship with Shandy and Rev, I was calling the Geek Room and Jules and Burnt Toast and all those people hypocrites, and I was giving you guys all kinds of reasons on why they were hypocrites. Well, guess what I'm about to start doing again? How many of you know that Jules was so heartbroken when Jason said the stuff that he said to William and Zachary when they was in the car before Shani would lose her channel, pretending that she actually cared about those kids? Hint, 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 hint. When Frank pretended he cared about those kids. And of course, this gullible, stupid audience sat there and gave him money, believing that, believing these people actually cared about what was going on in that car. For crying out loud, these people support all kinds of atrocities we talked about on this channel. But they sat there and they pretended and they pretended and they pretended like they cared about those kids, never giving them a morsel to eat or anything like that, never buying them any clothes, never doing any of those things. And they pretended that they actually cared about them. And when I was doing my part to try to make sure that those kids had somewhere to have a roof over their head, I was called a horrible person. I was a terrible person. G-Man's immoral. And you were just collecting all of that money for the slander that you did against me. It's all good, though. It's all good. I don't want nobody to get mad or nothing like that or to do anything or nothing like that. But I got a what-if scenario that would absolutely destroy them. You see, this ain't the first time I've ever had an argument with Shani and Rev or had a disagreement with them. I mean, for crying out loud, if the Geek Room can give money to Shani, if the Geek Room can give money to Rev, and if Jules can give money to Shani and Rev, what's wrong with G-Man doing it again? What's wrong with me giving Shani and Rev everything that they asked for and then some? Now, of course, if you saw the disclaimer in the beginning of this video, you already know that ain't happening. But what if I did that? What if I gave them everything that they wanted? Literally, everything that they wanted. Would I still be a horrible person? I'm not asking Carrie's audience. I'm asking the Geek Room's audience and Jules' audience. Because if you say one time that I'm a terrible person, then you got to financially stop supporting Frank in the Geek Room, and you got to stop supporting Jules Tells All. It doesn't matter if you're trolling Shani and Rev. It doesn't matter if you're not giving them that much money. That's completely irrelevant to anything. The fact is that you're supporting them, and you're supporting the things that they do when they say. Of course, the racism that both Jules and the Geek Room is supporting. Stop it. That's just like, that doesn't surprise me. So I'm not even going to waste my energy on that, because the Geek Room, let's just keep it real, is one of the most racist channels on here or whatnot. I'm just going to keep it real. If you haven't watched their streams, you don't know what I'm talking about. But you go watch their streams, you'll see precisely what I'm talking about. It's one of the most racist rooms out there. And Jules is one of the biggest hypocrites on social media. All right? So I'm just confused here a little bit. I'm a little bit confused. G-Man can't help Shani and Rev in their situation and what they're going through, but you can. Somebody got to help me understand this here a little bit. Somebody's got to help me understand this here a little bit. Somebody from the Dork Room who has a degree higher than a GED has to help me understand, how is it that Frank can help them? How is it that Jules can help them and they don't be slandered and people aren't calling them hypocrites, but I can? Somebody's got to help me understand this here a little bit. Come on. I mean, Dragnut spent all of them years. You guys for years defended him and said he was telling the truth about me and that he was, and I'm talking to the Geek Room audience. You defended Dragnut for years, and you said Dragnut is so lucky he's out there reporting the news and he ain't back on it. I would invite him in this room and lay out the smack him down all over his four-eyed behind, because he knows I'm right. Matter of fact, I'm going to contact him on Skype later. He knows I'm right. He knows I'm right. Why is it that the Geek Room gets to give Shanny and Rev money, but I can't? And why am I this terrible person because I give them money? Or I go buy Jason cigarettes and Red Bull and feed them and give them somewhere to live and everything and whatnot. Why was I such a terrible person? Whew. I know it's hot out here. It's about like 85 degrees out here right now. But I know I got to be boiling the blood of Frank because he knows I'm right about this. And Jules knows that I'm right too. G-Man is a horrible person because I supported Shanny and Rev. But then Frank and Jules are not. Somebody's got to tell the bearded lady, that would be Frank, that something ain't adding up. I know 1 + 1 = 2. But in Frank's world, 1 + 5 = 3. That don't make no sense to me whatsoever. Now, let's get into this here. Some people have said on social media that that the reason why they're helping Shanny and Rev is because the hate for Carrie is so high that they would go so far to help Shanny and Rev. Let me tell you the utter stupidity and that kind of thinking. And this is why I'm happy Drag ain't here no more. Because clearly these people are lacking leadership and critical thinking or whatever. But of course you got G-Man here that's going to take full advantage of their stupidity. While I won't help Shanny and Rev and do anything for them, I'll tell you one thing I will do. I will let everybody know that Shanny and Rev's loyalty is for sale. You see, only Jason knows the true depths of how much money Jules in the Geek Room has been giving them. I'm serious. Just go over there and donate $25 or $100 to them or something like that, and you can tell them to make a YouTube video and actually give out all the goods. Show the PayPal receipts. Show the super chat receipts. Show all of that stuff to prove that Jules' audience is a supporter of Shanny. They are supporters of a child abuser. I'm using your own arguments against you. This is not my argumentation. This is yours. This is the argumentation that you guys used against me for years on here. Burnt Toast, when she was making a fool out of herself playing the short game, didn't understand that G-Man was playing the long game. The Geek Room, who's too stupid to know what a long game is to begin with, was playing checkers when I was playing chess. I'll ask this question again. Why is it that when the Geek Room does it, and when Jules does it, it's okay, but when G-Man does it, I've committed some type of federal crime or something like that. Not literally, but you know what I mean. I'll go over here and read the chat. I'm pretty sure a lot of intelligent things are being said. So let me go over here real quick. Oh, and you guys don't got to worry. I'm going to contact Draven, and we're going to talk about this on his channel. I'm going to get a couple of channels talking about this particular issue because we got a problem here. We got a real problem here. You see, Geek Room, I also didn't forget how you, BGTV, Miss Parker, and Dragnet all told people that I was running a PayPal scam and that I was a scammer right along with Shanny and Rev. I ain't forget none of this stuff. See, you think I'm so singularly focused on Shanny and Rev that I just forgot about the last 3 years. And you got another thing coming. I ain't forgetting nothing. And I still got my receipts. I can prove just how racist you people really are at the end of the day. I mean, just yesterday, they was in my chat calling me a monkey. And if it wasn't for the kind-heartedness and the loving care and the lovingness of Carrie blocking, not blocking, but deleting those comments would still be there because we know that these audiences are racist. And I am referring to the Dork Room and their audience. I mean, they made fun of George Floyd on their show. They make fun of all kinds of people on their show, people that you can actually physically see. They don't got an argument with me because Burnt Toast can't prove she's Indian or Native American or any of those things whatsoever. All we got is Burnt Toast saying it. That don't count. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. But I want to know what kind of world we live in where the Geek Room think that they're going to get away. And you too, Jules. You too. You have the nerve to sit there and call Shani a horrible parent. Listen to me, Jules. We know you love horrible parents. We all know that you support child abusers. We know that you will not say a word to Shani in a live stream about what she did, what she allowed to have happen to her kid, and how she literally opens her legs for a child abuser. We know you're not going to talk about that, Jules, because you support such things. You only care to pretend about those kind of things because you needed some super chats. So again, in my what if scenario, what if I decide to end this stream right now, call Shani and Rev, tell them I'm going to write them a check, give them a house, do all kinds of different things and whatnot. How would that make me a horrible person? Because you all know what they're going to do. You all know what they're going to do. The Geek Room is going to make a video. BGTV is going to make a video. Dragnut's going to make a video. All these people are going to make these videos. Gee, man, you're a terrible person, but Frank and Jules aren't. What if I wanted to buy them $2,000 worth of Delta 8? What if I wanted to get this guy a year's supply of tobacco and get him a lifetime supply of beer if I wanted to? G-Man's a terrible person, but Frank and Jules are not. And it's not just Frank and Jules. See, Frank is just one person. The Geek Room, they're what is it, like 4 people that's on that show or whatever? And then you got Jules, who occasionally has Tosi on there, and I see all the donations they get over there. See, it's their audiences given to them too. How is the audience not enraged when they find out that some of that money is being given to Shani and Rev? I could play them out and tell them why they're actually doing it, but I'm going to save that for another video. But G-Man was never a terrible person. G-Man's, according to the scriptures, we have all sinned and has fallen short of the glory of God. That I claim. We have fallen short of the mark. That I claim. But as I said on GTV, and I say it now, the Geek Room and Jules and Dragnut, Miss Parker, and BGTV are not in a position to talk to me about my behavior and what I do on here. You want to know why? Because now they're doing the exact same things that they claim I was doing. It's some hard times coming for Jules. I might be able to run her off of here in less than a year if I focus on them long enough. Because I do admit, Jules is a little boring. The way she sits there and talk, and when she don't got her asthma pump. The way she gargles when she tries to talk and try to make a little joke. Then I got to sit there and listen to Frank talk about absolutely nothing because he's super boring. And then he wonders why nobody watches him. But what if I did that? What if I wrote a check for 50 grand and just gave it to Jason? Started making streams with them again. Started hanging out with them again. And started buying them. You can't call me a terrible person no more. Because look at what you're doing right now. You see, I'm going to tell you something, Frank. I've known those knuckleheads a lot longer than you. I've known Shani and Rev a lot longer than you, bub. And I've certainly known them longer than Jules. As far as I'm concerned, both of you are newbies. If I want them back, I'll get them back. They know it, and I know it. Money talks and the baloney walks, and everybody knows that. I know some of you probably think I'm in Pennsylvania because of that right there, but as I always do when I'm over here, I better do this. Because if I don't, yeah, G-Man's in Pennsylvania. Actually, no, I'll show you very specifically where I'm at. I can hear them now. No. I dot drop myself. I don't know if you can read. That says Maplewoods Park. That is how bold I am and how confident I am that I can absolutely destroy these people if I want to. Y'all just don't understand how much how badly I want to release this information that I have on these people. I just don't know. Like I know they better ignore this video too and keep it moving. But I do want to put that what if scenario out there. What if I wrote them a check for 50 grand? First of all, it'd be more than the pocket change that Jules and the Geek Room's giving them. It'd be more than anything that they're doing. But then you can't make video after video after video after video after video calling me a bad person. Now I know I made a video earlier in the year telling people that I needed that I should get an apology from this community for them sitting there saying that G-Man was this, G-Man was that. But that's not going to work for me. I told this to Dragnet, now I'm going to tell this to the Geek Room and Jules. I want financial compensation. Because while you was out there dogging my reputation, or at least attempting to do it, you were making a lot of money in the process. I don't want no verbal apology, and I certainly don't want your pocket change. We all know that Jules works 3 jobs to pay for her little studio apartment that she has. That one big giant room she live in. And by the way, if anybody hasn't figured this out, sarcasm. I'm smart enough to actually say that. I am absolutely loving this, and I'm downloading every last one of these videos. And every time somebody in my community who knows, you know who you are, that are sending me any, just remember, you take as many screenshots as humanly possible. Take as many as you possibly can get, and make sure you know who the contributors are. So when it's time for the pain, we get them, and we get them good. Now, let's briefly talk about this Carrie hate that's going on and whatnot. I want to let everybody know who watches my channel that's part of the Geek Room that the only reason Frank and Taddit and Jules hates Carrie is because she's whipping their behinds when it comes to views and when it comes to subscribers. Carrie does a far better job doing commentary on Shani, and like I said, Jules and the Geek Room is boring, and they can't accept that. So instead of them actually trying to be better content creators, they would rather try to do to Carrie what they were trying to do to me. And this is what having me on her side actually does. You see, I can start telling them what you're really all about, and I can share some of this information with them if I choose to. That makes me very dangerous. And I'm going to tell you something else, a dork room. If you ever invite Scientist Sam on that channel ever again and have him make another joke like that again, that might be your last stream. No, I'm not going to flag you. I don't have to do that. I can just have a little bit of fun with you, if you know what I mean. And with little Julesy trying to be an adult and everything. G-Man's a terrible person. No, G-Man ain't a terrible person. G-Man ain't terrible. G-Man was stupid for falling for those 2 morons' lies. But if I did decide to help them tomorrow, there's really nothing. The Geek Room and Jules and Dragnet and Miss Parker and BGTV and what's that other buffoon name who lives over there in the UK with this horrible UK accent? What was it? Irate Alex. Y'all can make all the videos y'all want, and I'm just gonna laugh at you, because I'm gonna say until you address Frank, and until you address Jules, and until you address their audiences, you can't say nothing to me. Oh my God! I wish this was on StreamYard. Somebody said that is not why Carrie's hated. Carrie is hated because she's a horrible person. Hey, Dildo Golgins, your name is, right? Can you please tell me why she's a horrible person without playing out Frank and without playing out Jules? Why is she a horrible person? Come on, I know this isn't too difficult for you. If she's such a horrible person, oh, is that how that works? Oh, you can't tell me. She's just a horrible person because you said she's a horrible person. You don't have any reasons on why Carrie's a horrible person. You're just jealous because you're a nobody and she's a somebody. I think that's what that is. Nobody watches you and everybody watches her. That's why she's a terrible person. You people with these low self-esteem here on social media, y'all really need to go look in the mirror and build yourself up a little bit. You really need to build yourself up a little bit. Like honestly, this is why I'm like dancing and rejoicing. Y'all don't got no real leadership. At least Dragnet would say, listen, if you're gonna deal with G-Man, this is how you answer him. And there's no Dragnet. There's no Dragnet. I am literally dealing with imbeciles on here now, and this is gonna make my job all too easy. So anyway, ladies and gents, they don't have a reason on why Carrie's a horrible person. Think about that a minute now. Why would a grown man who stalks an elderly woman, Frank the Stalker, and Jules tells all, want Carrie off of the internet because nobody's watching them? On my G-Man channel, I had like 3 people watching me yesterday, and I was fine with it. I'm not going to go around flagging people because I had 3 people watching me. I had 3 people watching me live yesterday. I'm so confident in myself, and I'm so confident in the one that I worship that that I could care less how many people was watching. I don't need to go around false flagging people's channels because I'm insecure and I don't have no confidence. Please, can somebody in the live chat please enlighten me on why Carrie is a horrible person? Because if you can't tell me why she's a horrible person, not only do you got to explain why you support these people who are supporting these child abusers, now you got to tell me why are you attacking an innocent person on the internet? Here we go. Carrie is a horrible person because she is a liar and supports you. Okay, so let's go with that dildo. Number 1, Carrie does not support me. Carrie does not support me. That's number 1. Carrie reviews some of the things that I do. I am probably more of a fan of Carrie than Carrie is a fan of this channel. I can assure you of that. Number 2, you said that Carrie is a liar. Why do you? Let's just say hypothetically speaking that Carrie has lied about something, right? Why do you support Frank? He lies. He lies every time he opens up his mouth. I can't wait for him to make that video. G-Man, why don't you come on Dork Room and tell me why, and show me one time that I've lied. I would love to. I would love to. Starting with your court case. You know? I would love to. I'm pretty sure I can invite Bullhorn and Betty on there. We could talk all about that. Carrie just works for what? Carrie doesn't work for me. Carrie doesn't support me at all. If Carrie wanted to, that would be none of your business. Just like it would be none of your business if I supported her. And I am man enough and adult enough and strong enough to that if I wanted to support her, who cares what you think? Who cares what you think? I'm not doing this for dildo's approval. I support whoever I want to support on here. The end. The only reason I don't have that attitude with Frank concerning Shanny and Rev is because Frank was the same person that went, that was a terrible thing that happened to Shanny's kids. It'd be we gotta call Shanny out on this. And then you're collecting your money, laughing under your breath because you love every minute of it. And so same thing with Jules. You understand what I'm saying, ladies and gents? They don't even know how to properly trap you in an argument. So I'll say this again. It's not the same thing when I say who cares about what dildo thinks. It's different because not only the Geek Room, but the Geek Room supporters, as well as Jules supporters, we're just going to use them for now because there was a lot more people than that, a whole lot more, that was attacking me on during the GTV days, all because I was friends with Shanny. And like the movie Kill Bill, we have unfinished business to attend to. We really do. You think you're just going to get rid of Carrie and everything's just going to magically go back to the way? No. That ain't never gonna happen. Not on my watch, it ain't. Not on my watch, it ain't. And I don't even need a channel to get you. That's the beautiful thing. I don't even need a channel to get you. You can't deal with somebody as determined as I am and think you're just gonna get away with all that trash that you guys did to me in the past. You're crazy. You gotta do better than that. Carrie does drugs. Yo, Dildo. No. Who said that? Yo, Dildo. Thank you for the entertainment, but I can't take you seriously no more. Let me see something else. Who else is here? I can't take you seriously no more. Dildo. You're a liar, and since you don't like liars and whatnot, don't even support yourself, liar. Let me see something here. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Carrie is a great person. People hate on her because she is a good example of a traditional life to which people... Of course. I love the fact that Carrie and her husband are so wholesome and are so traditional in here. Absolutely love it. I love the fact that she's not going around flirting with other people on YouTube or whatever. You know what I mean? That she's saying faithful to her man. You know what I mean? Focusing on her family and then using some of her time to expose the Minnesota Barracuda. I can't say the same thing about Jules, and I can't say the same thing about the Dork Room. I really can't. Those sadists love to hurt people. Those sadists love to see people suffer. Come on now. Somebody's got to have an argument for why Carrie's a horrible person. Anybody? So, I know somebody's going to say, you know, G-Man, she hasn't attacked you yet. When she attacks you, you're going to turn on her. Oh, okay. So let's address that one, because since I make better arguments than anybody in the geek room, that's for sure. Way better arguments. I do believe there are several streams when I was still supporting Shanny and read that negative things were said about me. And what's your point? What's your point? They got their opinions and I got mine. What's your point? I'm not really understanding that, if that's your argumentation. Why am I wasting my time dealing with these, what we used to call them, the bottom of the barrel, I think we used to call them in the great debate days. Why am I wasting my time with the bottom of the barrel right now when it comes to Jules and when it comes to the geek room? Like, why am I wasting my time on these nobodies who ain't doing nothing for society whatsoever? Like, why am I wasting my time on them? I don't even have to respond to these losers anymore because they have lost in more ways than one. They lost when G-Man found out the things that G-Man found out. That's when it was officially over for them. I tried to warn Broke Nut, but he ain't want to listen. Tried to warn him. Let me see. Carrie is running scared from Shanny. No, she isn't. I'll tell you a little secret. If Shanny challenges Carrie to another fight, if I was Carrie, I would accept it. You want to know why? That would prove that Shanny can stand up. That would prove that Shanny can walk, and it was going to prove that Shanny can work. It'll never happen. That's why Carrie should accept it. She should go get a Greyhound ticket, get ready to go over there and whatnot, and let Shanny back out at the last minute. Get some legal documents stating that Carrie's allowed to go over there. Remember, Shanny's supposed to be handicapped. Frank, well, we know you like scammers because you're one yourself. You know what I mean? Shanny's supposed to be handicapped. She's supposed to be somebody that can't work, that can't move, that can't even get to the bathroom. She has to use a bucket in the middle of her living room. But she can play video games all day, right? That sounds very similar to your situation, Frank. Not the same, but but similar. Similar, because I believe you play a lot of video games too, if I'm not mistaken, right? She helped Shanny hide her kids from CPS. Actually, if you actually watch the video, Carrie did not do that. What Carrie actually did was Carrie was telling Shanny to not let Rev back into the house. You're making stuff up, people. If Carrie was this horrible person, you wouldn't have to work so hard to be able to show me proof on why she's a horrible person. You guys are just saying things for the sake of saying things. Anybody dumb enough to listen to you guys, you know what I mean, claim that Carrie's a horrible person is just as gullible as Jason is, really. Jason believes everything that Shanny says, and the Geek Room believes everything that Shanny says too. I mean, maybe we should actually consider the fact that Frank is perhaps stupid enough to actually believe Shanny. Could be that. Maybe Frank is stupid enough to actually believe Shanny. Maybe Jules is stupid enough to believe Jason. Who knows? I was at one time. Don't feel too bad. uh, Carrie's a lover, not a fighter. Carrie is a YouTuber that is absolutely stomping a mud hole in the Geek Room and in Jules. And they can't take it. So, instead of being adults, instead of being mature, instead of acting like they got sense, they were rather encourage Shanny, which is exactly what they did. They paid Shanny, they encouraged Shanny and Rev to go out on a flag campaign and actually convince these two morons to ban Evade and actually make a YouTube channel. Which, if you saw the previous video to this, I'm not even going to waste my time subbing because I don't expect it to be up very long. The second Rev decides that he's tired of looking at the Minnesota Barracuda, he is going to go find himself another woman. The second he's going to go right back on Facebook again, he's going to go find some golf girl, and there's really nothing Shanny can do about it. That's what's hilarious about it. You chose a man with money, and that's the only reason you chose him? Well, guess what? Now you're with a cheater, and that cheater is going to keep cheating on you over and over and over again, and over and over and over again, and there ain't nothing you can do, Shanny. But Shanny, I do want to congratulate you on your new supporters in the Geek Room. I do want to support you. I know you don't like the race issue and whatnot, but I think you don't understand a couple of things, Shanny. The Geek Room is an extremely racist YouTube channel. And now listen to me, if you don't believe me, you can go watch the past episodes and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Because you know I'm going to use it against you. You know I'm going to use it against you, Shanny. Not to mention, Frank is into... How can I put this? Frank is into talking to people that is not legal to talk to. It begins with a P and it ends with an O. And that's what Frank is into. We know his supporters are sick freaks too. So they'll all sit there and defend him left and right and whatnot. You know what I mean? Then you got Jules, who sat there and pretended like she actually cared about those kids. She actually sat there and pretended like she cared about justice and the American way and all of that. And I am going to enjoy going to those archive channels and showing everybody how fake Jewel was when she was going after Shanny. I can't wait. I gotta talk to Draven. We gotta make a couple of shows together because I think we can get our laugh on big time. Maybe I can get Gentleman Pioneer too. We can really get our laugh on. Let me see something here. And you know what the beautiful thing is? A lot of you got very short memories. You'll tell me that G-Man don't know how to get information. You still just repeating what you heard Dragnet say without actually any substance to back it up. And you kind of forget what happened to Miss Parker, and you kind of forget what happened to a couple of other YouTubers on here that tried me. I'm going to keep throwing that in y'all face over and over and over and over and over again as a reminder to the consequences when you come on my YouTube channel underestimating me. Brokenut underestimated me. What did you say, Dragnut? What did you say to me on my Yahoo account? What did you say to me? Oh, wait a minute. That's right. You said to me, I'm going to take everything you have. That is precisely what you said to me, Dragnut. I have the email, Dragnut, to prove it. You said to me that you was going to take everything I had, and who's the one who had to change their name and leave their main account? It was you who had to, not me. Not me. And I'm in a very unique situation with Shanny and Riff. Have any of you noticed that Shanny and Riff has not flagged me? I mean, have any of you noticed that they have not flagged me? That's because these two narcissists actually believe I'm going to change my mind and be friends with them again. I've been doing quite a lot of reading on this narcissism things because Shanny and Rev ain't the only two narcissists out there. Drag was a narcissist. And Shanny is a narcissist. And she thinks she's all that in a bag of buffalo wings, and G-Man's going to ultimately change his mind and go back to the supporting of the Shanny and the Rev. That's what they actually believe, and they believe wrong. Besides, if they touch my channel, I'm going to have to see. I'll just wait at the convenient or the whatever the heck he goes to get his Delta 8. I'll just sit there and I'll wait. Or I'll wait for Shanny to go to the hospital and she'll have to deal with me in person. It's as simple as that. I am sick and tired of being a victim here on social media. No. I'm gonna start doing the work on here now. If you smell what the Rock is cooking. You know what would be a great promo to get, Jason? You know what I'm gonna do? I own the Revelation News name now. I'm actually in the middle of copywriting it, actually, Jason. I'm actually in the middle of copywriting both your logo, both the logo and the name Revelation News. But I know you always wanted to get Raven on your wrestling channel. I might beat you to the punch with that one. I think Raven says he charges $300 for a show, for 1 hour of show. I think I'm going to bring Raven to my YouTube channel, and we're going to have a chat about you. We're going to talk about you, dude. How you wasn't smart enough to lock your door when Shanny went to the hospital. I think that'd be awesome. Shanny went to the hospital. That was your opportunity to change the locks, dude, and you didn't do it. Should have changed the locks. If I were you, the next time Shanny sends you to the store, don't go back home. Go to a homeless shelter. Get your life together. Get away from that 12,000-pound barracuda. G-Man is a bad drug. The last time I was in a room with these Jules and Geek Room supporters, I believe I was on Underhaven's channel. And the last time I was in there, I think I gave them a master class on how to troll. Because some people on here are so used to going after easy targets, they forget that some of us on here have been on here longer than them, and we understand the game. So, Frank, you lost all respect in this community, dude. You're going to sit there and you're going to support Shanny. Shut up about morality, dude. Like, just shut up. And Jules, leave YouTube. Or stay and hang out with Toasty. Because it's only a matter of time before Jason starts talking too much about that, too. I won't have to show anything. That moron will do it for me. I'm pretty sure you're paying them at this very minute to get on here and to take back the statement that they don't give you any money. You can pay them all you want. I got more money than you. I can actually go to them right now and I can say, listen, show everybody the receipts of how much money. I can actually do that if I want to, but I'm not going to. I'm not wasting another nickel on those two. Not another nickel. And I mean it. I would rather give away that stuff that he gave me and give it to the community for free than to sit. Than to sit there and give it to Jason. That's not a bad idea. How would I pull that off? And how do I make sure I don't end up back in the hands of Jason? I'm not going to give away everything, but I got a couple of things. I know I heard Drader talking about how he would love to be able to see certain things, to see what they did with that money over there at see what they did with that money when they was in Colorado. And I actually can prove what they actually did and the insane amount of money on some of the things that they were spending their money on. and who is actually doing it. It's hilarious. So, Frank, we all know you're not going to do that because we all know that you're a crackhead supporter, and we also know, sir, that you also are a child abuser supporter, and so is Jules. Oh, who's Jules? She's this purple diner. No, sorry, not this purple one. She's this green dinosaur on the internet that thinks she's important. Don't worry about her. I don't want to tell you who she is because I don't want to send you to her channel or nothing like that. She's a joke. Don't worry about her. She's an absolute and total joke. Trust me, she's a total joke, and it's boring. And it's like listening to somebody on the asthma pump when they're trying to talk and make the little jokes on here and everything and whatnot. You know, all you need to know is she works 5 jobs to pay for her studio apartment. That's all you need to know. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I don't think Frank or Jules can ever say another word to me again. As a matter of fact, from this day on, Frank, if me and you ever get in the room again and you ever ask me a question again about anything that has to do with right or wrong, I'm ignoring you. And you too, Jules, until you explain why you approve of Jason kicking an autistic child in the head. And why would you financially support a person who would do something like that, Jules? You're a horrible, terrible person. And you can say, gee, man, you did it. You supported him. I'm not supporting nobody right now. I haven't supported them in quite some time. I think in almost 2 years now. What's your excuse? Just curious. Tired of talking about this little lint on YouTube that's not even important no more. That's what you are, Frank. You're lint. That's what you are, Jules. You're lint. You were big, you were important, now you're a joke. If you don't mind, I'm pretty sure Carrie's live or did some video. I'm going to go take a look at it and totally ignore you, Frank and Jules. If you're new to my YouTube channel, please go over and subscribe to Carrie's YouTube channel. Again, they don't have a solid argument on why she's a bad person. Carrie's all right. And I think when you watch her channel, you'll understand what I mean. She has strong opinions about Shani and Rev. She has strong opinions about some other people on here. And she's actually quite entertaining. And she's not a hypocrite like Jules and Frank is. Later, guys.